In a world where every moment is a crossroads of opportunities, where every decision can define your destiny, the question arises, how will you react? How will you navigate the intricacies of life, personal relationships, and power structures, maintaining the clarity of mind and unwavering determination that set you apart? There is a way to grasp the principles that distinguish leaders from followers, the brave from the cowardly, those who lead from those who are led. Over the next 20 minutes, we will delve into the wisdom of Niccolo Machiavelli, a historical figure whose works are both admired and criticized. We will explore the mindset that allows you to stand out in a world where conformity is so often rewarded. This is not merely a historical or philosophical analysis. It is a journey to awaken the power within. Through the lens of Machiavelli's teachings, we will understand why courage, strategic thinking, and an unwavering sense of self-worth are keys to success in any environment. It's not about manipulation or ruthlessness, but about developing clarity of thought, resilience in the face of adversity, and the ability to navigate a world that sometimes seems chaotic and merciless. The final lesson to be considered promises to be the most significant and transformative. Before delving deeper into the topic, it's worth asking, are you content with the role of a follower? Or do you aspire to take control of your destiny and become a leader? Are you ready to settle for a modest existence? Or are you determined to achieve true prosperity? From the very origins of civilization, humanity has been captivated by the complex game of power, pondering who possesses it, what mechanisms allow it to be maintained, and what determines the rise of some to the heights of success and the oblivion of others. Niccolo Machiavelli, an Italian thinker of the Renaissance, in his revolutionary treatise, The Prince, offered ideas that remain relevant to this day. His teaching is not a call to unprincipled deception, but rather a guide to understanding the laws of life and how to successfully play them. The concept of being a wolf among sheep begins with the realization of a fundamental truth. Perception shapes reality. Machiavelli insisted that how others perceive you often matters more than your true intentions or abilities. He wrote, "Men in general judge more by their eyes than by their hands, for everyone can see, but few can feel." What does this say? That your image, your ability to project confidence, competence, and strength often becomes the cornerstone of your influence. Think about this. Who exactly catches the eye in a crowded room? Often it's not the loudest individual or the one with an impressive title, but the one who exudes confidence in their intentions and is in control of the situation. Machiavelli argued that creating such an impression is not just a trick, but a vital necessity for those who aspire to power. Leaders who have grasped this truth skillfully combine sincerity with strategic thinking. But how to achieve such an effect? Start with deep self-analysis. Examine your strengths and weaknesses, identify your values and goals. A wolf doesn't try to pretend to be a sheep and doesn't feel remorse for its instincts. Accepting your uniqueness and knowing how to emphasize your strengths is the first step towards becoming a force to be reckoned with. Machiavelli also emphasized the importance of being able to adapt. He argued that success accompanies not those who stubbornly adhere to one approach, but those who show flexibility and respond sensitively to changing circumstances. As he said, "He who adapts his policy to the times prospers, and likewise he who injures his policy in disregard of the times fails." A wolf unerringly determines when to pursue prey, when to retreat into the shadows, and when simply to observe what is happening. In real life, this means being able to assess the situation and adjust your actions accordingly. In the corporate world, where a serious struggle for career heights unfolds, simply diligently performing work duties is not enough. It is necessary to convincingly demonstrate leadership qualities, the ability to take responsibility, and instill confidence in colleagues. This is not about ruthlessly climbing over heads, but about demonstrating strategic vision and unwavering resilience in overcoming difficulties. The wolf, as a symbol of wisdom and insight, recognizes the crucial role of timeliness and decisiveness in actions. Niccolo Machiavelli, the celebrated thinker, aptly noted, "A wise man ought always to follow the roads beaten by great men, and to imitate those who have excelled, so that if his skill does not reach their perfection, at least it will savor of it. Often it is precisely procrastination or indecision in the face of emerging opportunities that become the fine line that separates triumph from defeat. This principle applies to all spheres of human existence, whether it's personal relationships or career advancement. In this regard, a logical question arises. In what aspects of your life are you excessively cautious, waiting for the perfect moment to arrive? What bold steps are you ready to take today to start realizing your most cherished desires? Machiavelli, a profound connoisseur of human nature, argued that to succeed in a world ruled by the laws of the jungle, one must skillfully balance inspiring fear and earning respect. His famous quote that it is better to be feared than loved if one cannot achieve both is often misinterpreted. It's not about instilling terror, but about cultivating respect and ensuring a serious attitude towards oneself. When those around you realize that you cannot be manipulated or undermined, they are more likely to respect your boundaries and decisions. To conclude this section, it is worth considering the impression a person makes on others. Are they perceived as a strong-willed leader, full of determination and courage? Or do they feel lost in the faceless crowd, hesitant to express their individuality? It is important to remember that the impression you make is not a game of masks, but a harmonious combination of external appearance with inner potential and strength. The following section will detail a set of strategies and a mindset that allows you not only to adapt to the complex conditions of the modern world, but also to thrive in it. Particular attention will be paid to the importance of calculated risk, the formation of strong alliances, and the maintenance of unwavering focus on the goal set. Is a person ready to unleash their inner wolf? The path ahead is not for the faint of heart. It is open only to those who are ready to take on the role of leader. The rewards awaiting at the end of this path are immeasurable. True leadership and the acquisition of personal power. True leadership and personal power are more than just outward appearances. They require decisive action based on a carefully thought-out strategy. In a world that is often chaotic and unpredictable, success is achieved not just by the strongest or the smartest, but by those who are willing to take calculated risks. Throughout Machiavelli's works, the idea that success accompanies the bold and daring runs like a red thread. His famous phrase that fortune is a woman, and to master her, it is necessary to beat and thrash her, although it sounds somewhat harsh, carries a profound meaning. Fate favors those who are not afraid to act decisively and do not wait passively for luck to knock on their door. It is the willingness to take calculated risks that distinguishes a leader from a follower. The latter prefers to remain in the shadows, waiting for instructions and protection, while the former paves their own way, realizing that every decision can bring both triumph and defeat. Machiavelli argued that great achievements are attained by those who are willing to boldly face the unknown and see opportunities where others see only danger. He called this virtue, meaning not just moral qualities, but rather the strength of spirit, courage, and ingenuity necessary to become the master of one's destiny. Think of a time in your life when you hesitated, fearing failure or rejection. Perhaps it was a chance to start a new business, build a relationship, or defend your interests. How would your life have turned out if you had shown more courage then? In his writings, Machiavelli draws our attention to the fact that inaction often holds far more dangers than the possible failures that accompany active actions. He was deeply convinced that even failure as a result of an attempted effort can become a valuable source of knowledge and experience, while indecision and constant hesitation doom a person to stagnation and powerlessness. However, fearlessness alone is not enough to achieve success. Machiavelli emphasizes the vital role of alliances. Just as no wolf can survive and thrive in solitude, even the most powerful leader needs the support and loyalty of comrades. Similarly, a person's success is largely determined by the quality and strength of the relationships they have built. Machiavelli advised rulers to surround themselves with wise advisors and loyal followers, emphasizing that trust and mutual benefit are the foundation of strong and lasting alliances. Applying this principle in everyday life, It is important to carefully choose the people with whom we maintain close relationships. We should ask ourselves, do these people contribute to our personal growth and support us on this path? Or do they drain our energy and undermine our belief in our own strengths? Developing meaningful relationships involves finding those who can challenge us, stimulating our growth, while also sharing in the joy of our victories and the bitterness of our defeats. Just as the strength of a wolf lies in its pack, the strength of a person lies in the network of people who share their views and values. In Machiavelli's philosophy, the ability to concentrate appears as the cornerstone of success. Like a wolf that doesn't waste energy on every rabbit it encounters, but waits for the perfect moment for a precise strike, a person needs to be able to prioritize and not succumb to temptations that lead away from the intended goal. Machiavelli warned rulers about the danger of complacency and loss of orientation, emphasizing that only discipline and unwavering determination can maintain power and influence in the hands of a leader. In today's world where the flow of information and social networks test our concentration every minute, the ability to prioritize becomes vital. Endless to-do lists and external pressures often distract from what really matters. To awaken the wolf within, one must learn to separate the wheat from the chaff and remain true to one's vision. It's important to ask yourself, what are the 3 main goals I'm pursuing at the moment? And do my daily actions align with these goals? Or am I wasting energy on trifles? Machiavelli also urged people to boldly face the challenges of fate. A lion is powerless against cunning traps, and a fox cannot compete in strength with a wolf. Therefore, it's necessary to combine the qualities of both. The fox's cunning, which allows one to recognize dangers, and the lion's power, which can deter enemies. This duality, a harmonious combination of cunning and strength, gives the wolf the opportunity to survive and thrive in a complex and often hostile world. Being cunning like a fox means developing emotional intelligence and strategic thinking, knowing when to be delicate and when to act directly, when to speak and when to remain silent. In contrast to the unbridled power of a lion, an important aspect is developing resilience and unwavering courage. The path of life is inevitably strewn with obstacles, but a true wolf is not prone to cowardice. They learn from difficulties, adapt to changing circumstances, and forge strength with each new challenge. Consider how this duality manifests in your own life. Is there an excessive bias in one direction, excessive caution like a fox, or reckless audacity like a lion? How can harmony be achieved, combining both qualities for the successful achievement of goals? In closing this reflection, consider the specific steps that can be taken today to begin transforming your thinking and behavior. Where can you take a calculated risk? Which relationships should be strengthened or reconsidered? What distractions need to be eliminated to stay focused on your aspirations? In the subsequent part of the narrative, a deeper layer of emotional and psychological aspects of leadership and resilience will be explored. Ways to master your emotions, maintain influence over others, and use the power of persistence will be examined. The path of the wolf does not promise to be easy, but for those who are ready to accept this challenge, the rewards will be truly great. Leadership and resilience are not just a set of actions. They are a true art of managing not only external circumstances, but also one's own inner world. Niccolo Machiavelli, a profound researcher of human nature, was well aware of this interconnectedness, studying not only external strategies, but also the intricacies of the human mind. To become a true leader, capable of leading others or effectively managing one's own life, one must first and foremost achieve victory over oneself. A wolf thrives in the wild not because it doesn't know fear, but because it has learned to restrain it, transforming it into focus and unwavering determination. One of Machiavelli's most profound revelations is the exceptional importance of emotional control. He noted that a ruler, or anyone endowed with power and influence, must remain calm and composed even in the face of serious trials and tribulations. Machiavelli wrote, "A prince is also esteemed when he is a true friend and a true enemy." In other words, clarity of thought and decisiveness of action stem from the ability to manage one's emotions, clearly understanding in which situations to show warmth and compassion, and in which to show firmness and determination. Think back to the last time anger, fear, or doubt took over you, dictating your actions and decisions. Did this help you achieve your goals, or did it cloud your mind and lead to mistakes? A wolf never acts impulsively. It patiently observes what is happening, carefully plans its actions, and strikes at the most opportune moment. This high level of control begins with self-awareness, a deep understanding of one's emotional triggers, and the ability to respond thoughtfully rather than acting on impulse. Niccolo Machiavelli placed great importance on patience, arguing that time often plays a key role in separating triumph from failure. Like a wolf that knows how to lie in wait, conserving strength for the decisive moment, patience in life manifests not as inaction, but as active preparation and strategic positioning. This allows one to act with maximum precision and confidence when the right opportunity presents itself. However, emotional mastery is not limited to patience and self-control. Persistence also plays an important role. Machiavelli believed that setbacks and failures are inevitable companions in life. But it is the ability to rise after a fall that distinguishes a true leader. He wisely observed, "It is not titles that honor men, but men that honor titles." Thus, resilience and the ability to persevere in the face of difficulties define a person's true strength far more than any external achievements. To develop this resilience, one must learn to perceive challenges as opportunities for personal growth. When faced with rejections, disappointments, or failures, one should ask oneself, what lessons can I learn from this experience? How can this experience make me stronger? A wolf does not see a dead end in failure, but rather views it as a chance to adapt, become better, and move forward. In Machiavelli's philosophy, the ability to maintain one's influence emerges as another important facet. Leadership here is understood not as simple domination, but rather as the art of inspiring and guiding. Machiavelli emphasized that the quality of a ruler's entourage can be judged by their level of intelligence. This principle is reflected in all spheres of human activity. A person's influence grows in proportion to their ability to uplift others, see their strengths, and harmonize their aspirations with their own vision. To strengthen one's influence, it is necessary to carefully analyze the ways of communicating with others. How clear, persuasive, and purposeful is the language that is used? Is enough attention paid to the ability to listen, not just to speak? Machiavelli argued that effective leaders are, first and foremost, excellent communicators, able to inspire loyalty and trust in people. The wolf does not have the roar of a lion, but its presence commands no less respect. Influence also requires consistency in actions. People are drawn to leaders who demonstrate stability, reliability, and commitment to their principles. Machiavelli warned against inconsistency, seeing it as a force that undermines trust and weakens authority. In everyday life, one should strive for consistency not only in actions, but also in values and decisions. Delving into the emotional and psychological aspects of leadership, it is important to remember the significance of courage, which is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite it. Niccolo Machiavelli emphasized that leaders must be prepared to take decisive steps even in the face of uncertainty, asserting that there was anything great achieved without danger. This statement serves as a reminder that to achieve greatness, one must step outside the familiar and boldly face difficulties. How can one develop this quality? First of all, one must learn to accept discomfort. Just as a wolf does not avoid the harsh conditions of the wilderness, but on the contrary, thrives in them, a leader must seek opportunities to step outside their comfort zone. This could involve learning a new skill, solving a complex problem, or pursuing a long-held dream. Every act of courage strengthens resilience and brings one closer to their goals. In conclusion of this section, it is worth considering how one can begin to manage their inner world. How can one gain greater control over their emotions, directing them towards clarity and focus? Which past failures can be reinterpreted as stimuli for growth? And finally, how can one inspire and lead others, demonstrating consistency, openness in communication, and of course, courage? In the final part of our study, we will combine all the aspects discussed earlier to understand how to fully embody the wolf's mindset, encompassing all aspects of life. We will reveal the last and perhaps most important lesson from Machiavelli's legacy, a principle that can forever change your attitude towards difficulties and new opportunities. Our journey is not yet over, and the strongest revelation awaits us ahead. Becoming a wolf among sheep culminates in the final profound principle, the power of taking absolute responsibility for your life. Machiavelli was convinced that true strength comes from the realization that no external force, no event, no person, and no twist of fate has absolute power over your life. He confidently asserted, "Every man is the architect of his own fortune." This thought encapsulates the essence of his philosophy and the wolf's mindset: unwavering self-belief, a willingness to be accountable for your actions, and an unyielding resolve. To fully embrace this mindset, you must relinquish the illusion of comprehensive control over the world around you. Machiavelli acknowledged that luck and external factors certainly influence the outcomes of our endeavors. Nevertheless, he emphasized that we have the power to choose how to react, adapt, and leverage these circumstances to our advantage. A wolf doesn't complain about the cold or curse the storm. It seeks shelter, changes its tactics, and keeps moving forward. The principle of absolute accountability is at the heart of life transformation. To become the master of your destiny, you must once and for all abandon the habit of shifting blame for failures onto others or seeking excuses in unfavorable circumstances. Niccolo Machiavelli, an astute thinker, rightly considered excuses the refuge of the weak, those unwilling to face their own flaws and bear the burden of responsibility for their choices. In contrast, a wolf leader takes full responsibility for every decision, every action, and consequently, every outcome. He recognizes the undeniable fact that while external circumstances are often beyond his control, he always has control over his reaction to them. Think about a recent challenge you faced. How did you approach solving it? With a sense of responsibility and a willingness to act? Or did you allow disappointment and guilt to cloud your mind and paralyze your will? Taking responsibility begins with a simple but effective question addressed to yourself. What can I do to change the situation? How can I adapt to the new conditions and overcome the obstacles that have arisen? This mindset not only empowers and expands the boundaries of possibilities, but also strengthens inner resilience, tempers character, and instills unwavering confidence in one's own abilities. Another cornerstone of this principle is unwavering self-confidence. Machiavelli strongly cautioned against excessive reliance on others, whether in seeking approval, guidance, or a sense of security. He wisely observed, "A wise prince always bases himself on what is his own and not on what depends on others." Of course, this is not a call for isolation and rejection of help from others. It is about the need for continuous development of your own skills, deepening knowledge, and strengthening inner strength to be able to stand firmly on your feet in moments when others cannot or will not provide support. Self-confidence, like an untamed beast, requires continuous improvement. Like a wolf that tirelessly hones its natural instincts and prepares for new challenges, a person must constantly strive for personal growth. This implies investing resources in your own development, whether through gaining new knowledge, improving personal qualities, or acquiring skills that strengthen independence. Ask yourself, in what areas of my life do I overly rely on others? What steps can I take to become more independent and self-sufficient? Machiavelli's legacy also emphasizes the importance of clarity of goals and unwavering focus on achieving them. The great thinker argued that leaders should possess not only vision but also the determination to follow it relentlessly. His famous phrase, "The end justifies the means," is often misinterpreted. Machiavelli was not advocating for immoral acts, but rather emphasizing the need for a firm commitment to one's goal, even when faced with obstacles or difficult decisions. To put this principle into practice, You must clearly articulate your vision. What do you really want to achieve? What are your long-term goals? And what specific steps need to be taken to achieve them? A wolf does not wander aimlessly. It moves with a purpose, guided by a clear understanding of its needs and desires. Once your vision takes clear shape, embrace it with unwavering focus. However, insight also requires the ability to part with what has lost its usefulness. Machiavelli sagely noted that adherence to outdated strategies and alliances often foreshadows collapse. Similarly, a wolf unerringly identifies when to abandon unprofitable territory, exhausted relationships, or outdated approaches. Consider what habits, beliefs, or connections might be hindering your progress and let them go. Machiavelli argued that a willingness to embrace uncertainty is a prerequisite for achieving greatness. He wrote, "Fortune is fickle, but its nature remains the same. Life is full of surprises, but the wolf does not fear them. Instead, it sees change not as a threat, but as an opportunity for growth." To fully master the wolf mindset, you must summon the courage to step into the unknown, believing in your ability to adapt and grow. In conclusion of this exploration, it is worth recalling the key lessons: the ability to manage perception and adapt to circumstances, develop emotional intelligence, influence others, and take responsibility for your life. These principles form the foundation of the wolf mindset. Machiavelli's legacy serves as a powerful reminder that greatness is not the preserve of a select few, but an achievable goal for anyone willing to cast off the shackles of fear, cultivate unwavering resilience, and direct their efforts towards achieving specific goals. And so, in conclusion, a key question arises. Are you ready to awaken and unlock your potential? Like the wolf dormant within each of us, it is time to unleash your inner strength. The choice, of course, remains yours, and the moment to decide is now. Take responsibility for your destiny, act with a clear purpose, and lead others with confidence and strength. By doing so, you will not only overcome life's obstacles, but also inspire others to follow your example. The wolf thrives on its courage to lead, its ability to adapt to changing circumstances, and its unwavering perseverance. These qualities are also inherent in you. Thank you for your attention.